When I committed my life to Jesus, one of the first passage I memorized was Matthew 28:18-20, which is the Great Commission. And Jesus said, "All authority in heaven and on earth has been given to me. Therefore, go and make disciples of all the nations." These words changed the way that I saw my faith. I realized Jesus wasn't simply giving his followers a good idea or an optional ministry. He was giving every believer a mission: go and make disciples. That realization led me to another passage that became fundamental in my life, 1 Peter 2:9. And it says that we are a chosen people, a royal priesthood, God's own possession, so that we may declare the praises of him who called us out of darkness into his wonderful light. Notice the purpose. God didn't call us out of darkness simply so we could enjoy salvation. He called us out so we could tell others about him. And one of the most powerful ways we get to do this and partake in this is through our own testimony. Every follower of Jesus has one. It doesn't have to be dramatic. It doesn't have to be polished. It just needs to be true. A testimony can usually be told in three simple parts: who I was before Christ, how I encountered Christ, and what Jesus has done in my life since then. For me, I was a drug addict, and before Christ, I was trying to find meaning and purpose in these drugs and what the world had to offer. And then I encountered Jesus. He called me his child. He gave me a new identity, a new purpose, and a completely new direction. Since then, my life has become centered on focusing and following Jesus and helping others to know him. Your story may look completely different from mine, and that's okay. But God has given every believer a story that points to his grace. People may debate theology, they may argue with opinions, but it's difficult to dismiss a life that has genuinely been transformed by Jesus. That's why testimonies are so important. Over the next coming months, we'll be sharing stories from people here in Taiwan whose lives have been changed by Christ. These are ordinary people who were called out of darkness into his light and are now living for his kingdom. My prayer is that these testimonies can strengthen your faith, encourage you to walk with Jesus, and give you confidence to share your own story with someone. Discipleship making or discipling others is much simpler than we think. It begins with one person telling another what Jesus has done. If this series encourages you, please like, subscribe, and share it with someone who wants to grow in either evangelism, discipleship, or even just growing in their faith. I hope you guys are encouraged as much as I was encouraged creating this.